So I know this is a mess and I haven't touched anything yet. I wanted to come on and record this before I even started, because the way it works in my house is we all sit down to dinner and my husband goes, "Honey, this is really good. Did you record this?" And no, the answer is always no. I forget. I do so much and I forget to turn the camera on until after it's already finished. So before I even get started, I wanted to bring the camera on and show you guys what I'm doing. I'm making pork marsala, and I've got some onion powder or garlic powder, which I've put in here. This is just about a cup of flour, and I have seasoned it very generously with salt, pepper, and some garlic powder, cornstarch, and heavy whipping cream. I've got some mushrooms here that I'm going to wash and slice. I'm doing squash on the side, and I'm going to dice this up into like half moons, and I'm going to roast it in the oven in olive oil and salt. Butter, onion, and garlic, and I'm going to peel and chop both of those. Marsala cooking wine and some pasta, and I don't have any beef broth, so I'm using a bouillon. I've got my skillet heating, my water coming up to a boil for the pasta. So let me go ahead and prep everything. Oh, and I've got like, I think 8 pork chops. I think it's 8 pork chops, give or take. Anywhere from 6 to 8, somewhere. But I'm going to go ahead and prep this and those, and then we'll get started. So I've started my first batch. I've got 3 pork chops here because that's probably all that'll fit in the pan. I just dredged them here in the flour and put them on a plate. And my pan is hot. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to add a few tablespoons of butter into the pan. And when I cook these, I'm going to cook them on 5 to 7 minutes per side. I'm not going to finish these in the oven today. Just one, I don't have a pan big enough to fit all of these pork chops. And 2, I'm already going to have something in the oven. So I'm going to be sure to make sure that they finish cooking here rather than in the oven. So I'm going to put it down, and I'm just going to let them sit. Don't be tempted to move them. Oh, I can only get 2, so I'm going to have quite a few batches. Don't be tempted to move them. Don't be tempted to move them around and look under them. Just let them go. About 5 to 7 minutes, let them be. I'm going to go ahead and get the noodles in just a minute. And then here is my squash. I'm just going to drizzle olive oil to coat, salt them, and put them on a foil-lined oven sheet and into the oven these go. Okay, so what I did is I didn't tell the truth. I am going to finish the pork chops off in the oven. I got them to fit very tightly, but they fit on a baking sheet, and into the oven they went. I just feel more comfortable doing that way. I know that they're done if I do them that way. And then I just added the mushrooms and onions straight to the pan, and I've been cooking these. They've released their own juice. I haven't added anything extra. I just took pork chops out, mushrooms and onion in. So these are getting there. These are just about done. Do it to the tenderness of your liking. So these are just about to where I want them. I just move them around a lot because the temperature's still high and I don't want them to burn. And then I have measured out 2 cups of Marsala wine, 2 cups of water to go with my bouillon cube, and I've got probably 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to need 1 cup of heavy cream. Since this is almost done, I think that's good. They're pretty tender. I'm going to grate my garlic. I use a grater, just this little bitty grater. It's easier to cook or to chop it up. I don't have to sit here and just dice and dice and dice and go crazy with it. I just shred it right in, and it's small and it cooks away, and it's wonderful. So I'm going to get that in, and as soon as that goes in, I'm going to add these, bring it up to a boil, and just kind of let it cook for just a few minutes. This has been cooking down for almost 10 minutes, and I've just kind of let it just bubble away, and I've stirred it. I went ahead and added the cornstarch to some heavy cream, and whisked it together. And I'm going to add this into here and stir it to mix it. And I'm going to drain my noodles, and it's almost time to eat. The sauce is ready. I just cooked it down till it got nice and thick. You can see it's nice and creamy. Make sure you taste it. I added just a pinch of salt. My noodles are drained, and I'm going to add the sauce to the noodles. The squash is done. My pork chops are ready. And let me get this in here, and we'll plate it up. Finish it off with some garlic knots. Hope you enjoy.